You didn't search for this. It found you the moment your pineal gland began to hum, a soft, private frequency rising inside the skull, like a tuning fork struck by the field of the universe. Something in you recognized a different bandwidth, something aligned. Pause, breathe, feel the air move through your chest. Notice the still point behind your eyes. That small center, the third eye, is more than metaphor. It's a crystalline receptor, a living antenna. It reads subtle currents. It responds to invisible signals. You are not imagining the shift. You are noticing resonance. There is a scientific whisper to this mystery. Electromagnetic fields, resonant frequencies, tiny biochemicals that bloom when awareness opens. And there is the divine echo, ancient seers calling this activation. Both speak the same language now, frequency and meaning entwined. You are among the few who catch this live transmission. Not everyone will feel it. Not everyone will stop, but you did. That makes this moment sacred. It means your consciousness has slipped into a new register. Colors seem deeper. Sounds hold intention. Intuition arrives with clarity, like a friend tapping your shoulder. Stay here. Let the sensation pass through you without rushing to explain it. Watch your thoughts as if they are weather on a clear horizon. Let the body remember what it felt like to be whole. This video is a signal, a small calibration in your inner instrument. Breathe again. Open your awareness. Stay present. Take a breath. Stay here. This isn't just content, it's your activation point. The moment of opening. A thin ribbon of inner light unfurls behind your forehead. Soft, precise, like the surface of a pond answering a single drop. At first, it is only a sensation, a slight unmooring in the chest, a subtle tightening behind the eyes, a breath that seems to belong to something larger than you. Then, awareness stretches. You are no longer only inside the world. You begin to feel the world settle into you. This is not a dramatic cosmic event with trumpets and fireworks. It is intimate. It is like waking up while still dreaming and realizing you are the one shaping the dream. Objects remain the same, but the space around them hums with meaning. Your body feels synced, heartbeat answering to thought, breath dovetailing with a memory that suddenly matters. Thoughts stop being mere commentary. They become threads of light you can follow. There is a quality to the opening that most words miss. It is both a recognition and a surrender. Recognition, because something long dormant recognizes its home and reaches out with crystalline patience. Surrender, because you must let go of the small, urgent self that insists on explaining every sensation. The twist is quiet, but profound. Opening is not just gaining vision. It is losing the need to be defended against what you see. You may notice a chorus of little signals. A familiar song stirs meaning you didn't know it held. A face in the crowd hits a chord inside you, and you understand, instantly, what that person needs to release. Time elongates, minutes become deep, tactile rooms, and then snaps back, and you find the present moment more elastic than before. There is an internal microphone turned on. Intuition whispers with an authority that no longer begs for proof. Pain and past wounds sometimes surface first. This is not punishment. It is the body cleaning its glass so that light can pass through more clearly. The opening asks you to witness without flinching. When you do, the edges of old stories soften. What felt heavy becomes porous. Old grief leaks into a new understanding instead of becoming weight. Imagine the world as a theater, and you step behind the curtain. You see the ropes, the stagehands, the architecture of scenes you once took as fixed. That shift can feel destabilizing at first, because control was a comfort. But it also frees you. You can now invite different scenes to play. Listen to the small signals, a pause in conversation that holds meaning, a color that looks like a message, a phrase that repeats until you can no longer ignore it. Each is a gentle confirmation that a threshold has been crossed. So feel your breath. Place a hand over your sternum and notice the rhythm. The opening has arrived or is arriving. What do you notice first when the world begins to answer back? The immediate shifts in reality. A sudden clarity slices through the ordinary, like sunlight finding a crack in a closed room. You may notice time behaving strangely. Minutes stretch, hours fold into one luminous moment. You glance at the clock, and the numbers seem to hum. That isn't a glitch. It's your perception tuning to a different beat. Your mind is learning a new tempo. Senses sharpen. Colors stop being flat and begin to sing. Greens deepen into meaning. Skin feels the electric nuance of air. Sounds arrive with new edges. An ordinary street becomes an orchestra of purposeful notes. Even taste and smell can return, as if your body remembers how to meet the world fully awake. Intuition shifts from a whisper to a steady lamp. You'll find yourself knowing things before facts catch up. A small certainty rises, a direction to take, a person to call, a word to withhold, and it lands with quiet authority. This is not paranoia. It is a compass aligning with something larger than habit. Synchronicities increase. Repeating numbers, songs at the exact right second, conversations that answer questions you hadn't yet formed. These are not random coincidences, they're invitations. The universe begins to speak in signposts, and you are suddenly tuned enough to read them. The body reacts. A tingle between the brows, a pressure at the crown. Gooseflesh during a seemingly mundane moment. Sleep patterns shift. Dreams arrive vivid, sometimes lucid, carrying messages in color and tone. Emotions can amplify. Joy becomes incandescent. Grief comes in clean, quick waves. None of this is punishment. It's recalibration. Here comes a twist. What you once called anxiety may actually be expansion. What felt like disorientation was the mind shedding old filters. What you labeled as loss may be an opening. The discomfort is a doorway being measured from the inside. Recognize the practical signs too. Old relationships may crack, where resonance no longer exists. You may find yourself drawn to silence. Routine irritations dissolve or reveal their true lessons. Choices that once seemed impossible now feel inevitable. Do not rush. Observe. Keep a hand on your chest and note what shifts without judgment. Write the synchronicities down. Say the name of every image that arrives. Let curiosity replace fear. If you are feeling this, if your world seems slightly rearranged, what small, undeniable truth is asking to be seen right now? The science of the shift, neuroscience now whispers what mystics have taught for centuries. The body carries instruments that can tune to finer realities, and the pineal sits at the center of that subtle anatomy. Listen here. Not as dry fact, but as a bridge between lab light and inner light. Physically, the pineal is small and strange, tucked deep, richly vascular, sometimes with crystalline deposits. Those tiny mineral structures give it a quality that feels less like a gland and more like a sensor, a micro-antenna for internal and external fields. Some researchers point to molecules and rhythms, some point to geometry. Both views are useful. Both point toward a single idea: resonance. Think of resonance as conversation. Your nervous system hums in rhythms, slow tides of breath and heartbeat, faster waves in the brain. When those rhythms fall into sympathetic timing with something outside you, the Earth's Schumann hum, a humming tone, a meditative breath, doors can open. The pineal, by virtue of its placement and composition, can catch those harmonics and translate them into new kinds of perception. This is not mystical fantasy. It is a model. Frequency meeting structure, producing experience. There is also the whisper of endogenous compounds, molecules that, at moments of deep release or extreme coherence, may alter the chemistry of perception. Some scientists have proposed that tiny neurochemicals could amplify inner imagery, heighten pattern recognition, and make the world feel saturated with meaning. Call it chemistry, call it signal amplification. The effect is the same. Your inner screen brightens. Here is the twist. The change often begins not with what you see, but with how you measure. When your pineal aligns, you do not suddenly receive new information from outside. You recalibrate how you decode what is already here. Emotions become filters of frequency rather than mere reactions. A feeling becomes a waveform you can trace back to its source. A flash of intuition is no longer random. It is a peak in a coherent field that your body finally allows through. This retuning also refines silence. You hear the gaps between thoughts as clearly as the thoughts themselves. In those gaps, patterns pulse, synchronicities, repeated numbers, faces that return. They are not accidents. They are confirmations that your nervous system and the field around you are beginning to speak the same language. So what does this mean for you now, in this very moment? It means your sense apparatus has shifted from blunt instrument to tuned receiver. Taste, color, timing, all can feel more intimate. Your challenge and your invitation is simple. Observe without immediate judgment. Notice where your attention lingers. Track the subtle changes in breath, in heartbeat, in the kinds of coincidences that find you. What would change if you treated feeling like a frequency to be heard rather than a problem to be fixed? You made it this far, and that alone tells me something. This screen was not an accident for you tonight. There is a soft recognition in your bones, a quiet nod from the part of you that has been waiting for permission to wake. Celebrate that, quietly, as if lighting a single candle in a dark room and watching the shadows rearrange themselves in gratitude. You are chosen by your own readiness, not chosen because someone else decided, but chosen because a frequency inside you answered the call. That thin, steady awareness that noticed this message, that's your edge of awakening. Honor it. Know that you are not a lone traveler stumbling through images and advice. You belong to a subtle network of souls learning to remember how to listen to the inner current. We are a small constellation, and your light matters here. If something shifted as you listened, a tightened breath, a tear rising without reason, a sudden certainty, name it. Drop a yes in the comments if this touched you. Tell us one word that describes what opened. Clarity, ache, awe, relief. Share the headline of your inner truth right now. Your short message might become an anchor for someone else who needed that exact signal. This is the simplest way we hold one another. Small confessions, honest echoes, mutually witnessing. Grounding is sacred work. After moments like this, return to your vessel. Feel your feet press into the floor. Wet your lips. Let water remind you you are embodied. Sit for 2 steady breaths and fetch a pen. Write whatever the field delivered, even if it looks like nonsense. These scrawls are the map your waking self will need later. If a word, image, or sound returns, honor it by recording. This is how subtle awakenings become steady guides. You are invited to practice kindness with your changing perception. Emotions will read like weather now, come and go. Treat them like passing winds, not permanent forecasts. When doubt arrives, imagine placing it on the palm of your hand and watching it dissolve like mist. When joy rises, let it spill into your ordinary actions. This is the sanctification of daily life, making the small movements holy because you saw them clearly. We are building something simple and profound, a community that remembers how to tune to the field without losing the ground. If you feel called, share your moment below. Ask one brave question about what you want to see next. We will answer with presence, with stories, with curiosity. Keep tending your inner light. Keep honoring what wakes in you. Keep choosing to be the clear signal in a noisy world. Keep shining your light. Remain present. Breathe 3 slow, nourishing breaths. Absorb this energy in gratitude.